Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another live stream. Though this time I have a new guest with me today. Those of you who have watched the Narusaku podcasts during the final years of Naruto, you should know him as the one, the only, James S Cassidy.
What's up, Blue?
Hello, James. I finally got you on my channel to discuss something anime and manga related.
I know.
But I did try to get you for the pain arc discussion I had on Naruto, and then later the Boruto chapter that revealed that.
Well, you could thank COVID for that one.
Yes, COVID.
I don't know how everyone else is doing around the world or where they're from, but for me, it's been an up and down roller coaster with the COVID.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
So one minute I could do something, and I'll say, yeah, I could be there, I could do this podcast, and then the next minute, oh, I can't make it because I got to work that day because someone decided they don't want to work this day. So, yeah.
Yeah, but either way, I finally got you on the stream, and it's not just any stream. Instead of doing like a arc review or a chapter review or even a series ending discussion, it's currently an ongoing series. I'm sure everyone might know it, and if you look at the title, it's
Tokyo Mew Mew. Wait, wrong podcast.
One Punch Man, Why It's Great, in which I discuss with James about the phenomenon that is One Punch Man and why it's such a success. Let's see. Partly this was inspired by the podcast that him and Lucky Chi did a while back about Ryu Kenshin. I haven't fully watched that one fully, but I still figured. I thought I'd talk a series that both me and James have watched. Unfortunately, since I have yet to watch Overlord, which I'm assuming if James ever meets me face to face, he's going to strap me down to make me watch it.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know and listening in right now, Blue Star has a bad habit of kind of cursing anime series if he starts to watching them. So most of us kind of like stop him from watching. So.
Oh boy, I was hoping to avoid that on my channel, but this is one of the reasons why I can never go into a career of politics.
Yep.
Vote Blue Star! Don't vote for Blue Star, he's cursed! But hey, never mind. But anyway, no, granted, but yes, but I have quite a few things that James has been saying you gotta watch, one of them being Beetlejuice, but hey, that's another topic. But anyway, One Punch Man. For those who probably do not know, One Punch Man started as a webcomic by, manga writer and creator, artist and writer One, who has this sort of croaky art style of, as you will, not like the likes in which you would see in your Bleach piece, where they're like these really professional, while this one looks a bit sort of amateurish, but it's got its own unique appeal to it.
Yeah. It totally fits the story narrative, and he's actually gotten a lot better as time goes on.
Yeah, as I think usually what happens with most manga artists is the more they get used to drawing and their style. But yeah, it started out I think it was a one-shot chapter, but it ended up being so popular that he ended up doing more. And eventually it got the attention of, I believe, Eye Shield artist, what's his name?
You want me to take over for this part?
Yeah,
I know the history of it. Sorry, I'm kind of a One Punch Man fanboy at this one.
Yeah,
so One was doing the webcomic, and he wanted to do it for a living. Wanted to make manga for a living and make money off of it. Well, one day he fell into some hard times, and he says to his readers that did follow him that he won't be able to continue doing it because he has to get a job, he has to make money, and he can't do it by what he's doing by himself. So Yusuke Murata, the man behind Eye Shield, says, well, I just can't let this end. I love this series. And so he calls up One and says, I want to draw your webcomic. I want to do it in my style, but your story. I don't want to have any interference in the story itself. Maybe just some creative licenses on how scenes are played out, but that's about it. And Yusuke Murata's like, I have to do this. We have to continue making this. This is so much fun. This Saitama is such a great character, and we need more of this. People need to continue reading this. And then, bump, bump, that's how the manga was done.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so, yeah. And I believe the manga started publication in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, for those who are curious about what happened during this time with, like, manga at the time, the big three were when the big three was still ongoing. Let's see, in that year, the identity of, Toby was revealed, the Bleachers Blood War was starting. I believe during its longest arc, Dressrosa.
Yeah, Bleach didn't survive long after that, though.
But yeah, many of the mangas and even now ended, and are still ongoing. But we're not going to discuss the reputations of those just quite yet. Maybe a bit later. But either way, in relation to One Punch Man. But yeah, but it wasn't until 2015 where, nearly everyone in the anime community would know the name of One Punch Man, in which Madhouse decided to animate 12 episodes of the worldwide that would soon become the worldwide phenomenon.
Yep. But of course, the anime studio saw it, and the animators wanted to do it. They wanted to have a lot of fun with this, but there was money issues. So the animation studio says, we're going to do it at cost. Now, for those of you not in the business motif, that's costly. That's more costly than you believe, especially in the Japanese market. But they love this series so much, they were willing to make the series at cost. That means pay the minimum wage of artists, pay the amount that it needs to make everything happen, pay the resources and stuff like that, and pay the licensing trademark at the minimum, because they really believe that the series needed to be animated. Was the webcomic great? Absolutely. Was the manga great? Absolutely. But with a fighting series like One Punch Man, it's got to be animated. You have to show that animation, because that's half the story right there, is all the actions. It's like watching JoJo and not seeing these characters come up with these creative plots. You just can't have it. So the animation team was like, we really love this series. We really want to animate it. We'll do it at cost. And we'll do our best job that we can. Which proves that just because an anime has good quality animation or stylization or color or anything like that, Boruto, does not mean that it's actually a popular thing or that people really cared about the series. In fact, the people who did season 1 of the anime did the Boruto movie, and you could see that the animation is very, very rich in both of them. That the fighting styles are very rich, and you see a lot of things about Boruto where the story is but the fighting scenes were great, and you can see why.
Oh yeah.
Because they sunk all this money into Boruto, thinking it's going to make money. Well, here comes One Punch Man. They go, we're going to do it at cost, and you get the same quality. Because that's when you know you have something great going for you. That's when we know that one had something amazing.
In many ways, I'd say the anime, when One Punch Man was coming out, it reminded me, because I looked at this on Tumblr, in many ways, I had similar vibes of the rise of popularity of One Punch Man. It's very similar to when Attack on Titan came out in 2013, the first season. It's like, no matter where you go on social media, you would see One Punch Man.
Yeah, and I would argue that One Punch Man made the way for My Hero Academia.
Oh, yeah.
Because it also is a superhero type story, and One Punch Man was full throttle going on at the time, but by the time My Hero got into action, and then I could see how My Hero got some of its fame because of One Punch Man. Oh, more superhero mangas? Let's do this.
Uh-huh. Yeah, let's see, definitely, you could say One Punch Man came out at the right time, really, since superheroes were becoming very popular with the movies. And let's see, seems the anime studios were ready to do their own versions. But anyway, speaking of which, we should probably move into our next section. How did you get into One Punch Man?
How did I get into One Punch Man?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got into it because I bought... Oh, what was the manga that I bought? There was a particular manga that I bought. I can't remember it at the time, but I remember reading it, and at the end of this manga, it had a One Punch Man advertisement. And the advertisement, if you all remember this one, it basically looks like Saitama bending over like he just hit a punch, and then you see in the background this big, huge moon, and this gaping hole in the moon that's been blasted straight through it. And it just said One Punch Man coming soon. And I was like, this is hype. Just off that one image alone, I was like, I gotta see this series. And then I found out about the webcomic, and I was like, oh, I gotta read the webcomic. So I read the webcomic, I read the manga. The manga's not that far yet. It's not as far as the webcomic. So if you guys have a chance to read the webcomic, I suggest doing so because that's much farther. The webcomic is, the manga is getting there. It's almost to a pinnacle point right now. No spoilers, but I guess I could say this. You know how in each story there's all these big baddie laddies that they fight?
Yeah.
Right. We're getting to the second big baddie laddie, as they say. The second big one, the hyped one. Basically, if you were concerned with Naruto, this is basically they're basically getting to the point where Madara Uchiha comes to the field. That's what this is.
I would have compared it to Naruto versus Pain, or maybe Sasuke versus Itachi, but alright. But
if you read what I read, you'd probably agree with me more. But you know what? That's your opinion. I was just say that.
Fair enough. But yeah. As for me, due to the fact that I was still scrambling on Tumblr, but at the time, I wasn't really looking at reading a new animes or mangas, because after Naruto ended, I got, very deluded with Shonen Jump. I stopped buying the Naruto volumes. I even stopped buying the Bleach volumes. And, I think the manga was starting to get iffy with its story arc then. I'm not sure. I was reading One Piece, so granted, I think I was getting a bit bored of it at the time, but maybe then again I was still having some of my Naruto bias at the time, but hey.
Yeah. Naruto kind of jacked us all up.
Yeah.
After the whole ending and after everything they did with the movies and everything like that, it
can make it... Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like for me, I was willing to lose faith in manga and anime. Like, I was like, okay, there'll never be anything good ever again, because if you're going to keep doing crap like what Naruto keeps doing, if everything will be, this is really popular, we're just going to do this from now on, what's the point? What's the point of this, building things up only to be like, we don't care about that?
See, yeah.
So you wasted fit, and there's nothing more, there's nothing more of a waste of time than realizing that the development that you've been watching the entire time meant nothing.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure if anyone's watched 8 seasons of Game of Thrones, they'll probably feel that way, but hey. Anyway, but yes.
Or how about the last 3 movies of Star Wars?
Ooh, now you're getting into the fire there, but...
Shots fired! The Hope for Life doesn't hear me.
Who knows? Maybe one day I'll get you and For Life to have a versus sequel trilogy discussion, but let's see. But for the time,
foreshadowing for the future.
But yes, but pretty much, I wasn't really interested in reading any ongoing mangas or animes. Let's see, I was just going to read the ones that are still ongoing, and then I feel like I'm probably done. Though I was willing to give some of the series that had completed a chance, as I did buy volumes for Full Metal Alchemist, and I did read it online, and I watched the animated series on Netflix, because, it's like, this series already ended, and it's regarded as one of the most satisfying endings you can get in an anime or manga, so it's like, there's no way this could hurt me.
Yeah.
So it's like...
But did it renew your faith in anime and manga?
What? Let's see. What, Naruto or...
No. One Punch Man.
I'd say it restored it.
Okay. Because when I saw One Punch Man, I was like, this is good. This is really good. I'm really having fun. I'm really enjoying it. And I thought to myself, how many other series am I missing out or insulting right now that are actually really good that make Naruto look like crap? Not that it doesn't do it by itself, but you know what I mean.
Well,
But that makes Naruto look like nothing.
well, I'd argue the last 5 or so years and afterwards, let's see, of Naruto's crap. Let's see, the quality of part 1 and early part 2, I think, will be up for debates. But yeah, but anyway, let's see, but yeah. Anyway, I'm still, let's see, very active on Tumblr. Well, granted, I've gotten me back on Tumblr, though maybe not as blogging much. But let's see,
I'm banned.
let's see, every now and then I'd get these One Punch Man memes, images of like things such as Saitama trying to swap a fly, mosquito, or whatever, or just any funny moment, and it's like, what is this thing? What is this? And let's see, I ended up going to one of the online sites that I went on at the time because, well, back then, trying to find anime and manga was really hard still. I don't think Crunchyroll was fully popular then.
No.
And then, let's see, there was like an episode, let's see, granted, I might have also looked on YouTube a bit. I think around episode 5, in which Saitama destroys the meteor, I ended up seeing bits of that. It got me interested, so I started watching all the episodes that were out. And then I got into the manga, which I ended up reading let's see, what would end up being the season finale boss fight. Let's see, but yeah. And yeah, I ended up getting hooked. And then eventually I ended up learning about the webcomic and with its legendary Saitama versus Garo fight. So yeah.
He went in reverse order.
Yeah.
So the anime first, and then he goes to the webcomic.
Yeah, that sometimes happens where I see the anime first and then the manga. In many ways, it's what happens with me during the big 3 stages with the big. But then again, I think that's how most people got into the big 3. They saw at least one anime arc and then they got hooked and then started reading the manga. But for the most part, I'm usually just a manga reader.
He's not here, is he?
Let's see, no.
It's a joke. It's a joke. But
so yeah.
Yeah. Although the reactions to the anime were very positive.
Oh yeah. Let's see,
it even started a fire in the community because now people were saying like Saitama can one-shot Goku if he wanted to.
Or Superman if you want to get into that debate. But yeah.
Let's stick to anime versus anime fighters.
But yeah, it seems like after about 20 years of Goku being the strongest character of anime, he finally had.
He had a contender coming up, and he didn't give a crap. Like you see all those memes. Naruto is stronger than Goku. Tell me more how the Rasengan can blow up planets. At least it doesn't take me 20 minutes to power up. And then Luffy's like, "Oh, come on, guys, don't fight." And where's Saitama? Okay.
But yeah.
I love this series so much that Steve even got me an autographed manga from Max Middleton, who does the English voice dub for Saitama.
Wow. Lucky you. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the anime. Let's hold on a second. Anyway, we'll get to the anime in a bit. But at the moment, we're going to discuss the webcomic as the plot of. Let's see. I'm just going to share screen because I just want to show a few images.
I don't think we should go too far into the story itself because I want to keep some people like.
Yeah, but we're just going to talk about some of the characters.
Yeah.
Let's see, but the story of One Punch Man. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll go thing here, but follows the adventures of Saitama, this goofy-looking hero here that's bald. Let's see can blow any enemy away in one punch, and which is frustrating for him because, well, he likes the thrill of the fight. the thrill of the fight. And unfortunately, every enemy he beats with one punch, so he cannot really be satisfied with like punching, even though he trained for like 3 years to get to this level.
Yep. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. Do it every day for 3 years.
Well, I was going to save that for once we get to Genos, but okay, but yeah. But yeah, let's see, which probably won't, as we all know, won't actually, well, extremely hard for the average human. That's not going to make you super strong. Otherwise, we probably would have had a few Saitamas in the real world by now.
And there's a few videos of people that talk about the training regimen that Saitama does and what it can actually do for you. So you can find those videos on YouTube.
Yeah, but due to the fact that, let's see, due to that training, he became bald, and he ended up, let's see, losing the thrill of the fight. Though indirectly, he ended up creating what would be known as the Hero Association, in which all the main official heroes are. Before that, during like his quest, during like his journey, he ends up running into the young demon cyborg Genos, who
arguably could give Hinata a run for her money for being a stalker.
but I'd say at least, let's see, with Genos, he's a likable stalker.
Yeah, sensei.
See, but yeah. Well, granted, let's see, stalkers in real life, but just to be clear, people, stalkers in real life are not okay. But yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed that Johnny on Box doesn't voice Genos, but at the same time, I gotta see why they didn't make him that.
But yeah, but in many ways, Genos is, let's see, if this was a regular old manga series, you probably have him as the protagonist or sort of rival anti-hero thing.
Yeah.
As his origin is, his entire family was wiped out by a rogue cyborg, and
his entire village.
And his entire village, and let's see.
Since then, he trained every single day so he could one day find that rogue cyborg and defeat him and take revenge for his family. He is on a non-stop quest, and 20 words or less, Saitama will scream at him.
Oh yeah, that is just hilarious.
Yeah, and what's Saitama's backstory? I'm just a guy who's a hero for fun.
But yes, in many ways, yes. But yes, created by, rebuilt by a scientist who's also looking for the cyborg. Let's see. Yeah, in many ways, Genos, backstory would probably remind you of every rival anti-hero character you get in the series. One comes to mind being, of course, Sasuke, your favorite character, James.
Oh, yes. Sasuke! At least the name Genos isn't as, bad. Genos! Yeah, no, that's bad.
But he is pretty much the first hero to witness Saitama's overwhelming strength and immediately wants to become his disciple.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Saitama can't really teach Genos because he did muscle training, which is so basic, and he believes it's complete BS. But let's see, he's got to try and teach Genos something. So, even though he sometimes makes it up as he goes along, he does actually teach Genos some actual valuable lessons.
Yeah, this little gem. Hey, if all the heroes run away, who's going to be left to protect the city?
And Genos has to write down 100 notes about it.
Yeah. No. Genos writing notes about it. Literally, he's writing notes about everything. The way Saitama sits, the way he reads, the way he plays video games, the way he does something, the way he eats. They have an OVM, him stealing the biggest French fry from Saitama's plate to analyze it to see if it contributes anything to his overwhelming strength.
Genos.
Now, the OVA is not canon, but it's still within perfectly character of what Genos would do, because Genos, like I said, he puts Hinata in the running for being one of the biggest stalkers.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Genos. Let's see, but yeah, in many ways, he's the perfect foil for the goofy Saitama.
Yeah.
But yeah. he's also the guy that he's also the sort of guy that usually gets beaten up, but mostly just to hype up the monster. Before,
He's kind of the series punching bag. I hate to
yeah,
say it. Not that Jones doesn't have cool moments. Don't get me wrong. He's just kind of like every time he fights something, he usually gets his butt kicked.
yeah. Or when he beats something, something more powerful comes and whoops his butt.
Yeah. Though he does have one good fight, but that's later in the story. That's a little
Yeah.
farther down the road.
We'll talk about that maybe in the manga section, but yeah.
Yeah.
So mainly he usually to hype up the bad guys like, oh shoot, if this guy can easily beat Genos, how can Saitama? Bong. Never mind. But yeah, during the way.
I honestly think as a narrative, Genos is the straight man. He's supposed to gauge. He's basically the audience, if that makes any sense. He's the one that questions the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Saitama that's just basically like, why would I like?
I'm just doing what I want to do.
But yeah, in many ways, but yeah. No, granted, let's see. But Genos looks everything you expect in a hero, while Saitama doesn't, which usually means he gets all the fangirls. But hey, as we've probably learned with a few mangas, the fat girls always go for the pretty boy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anyway, during the journeys, he ran into characters like Speedo Sonic, who is the self-proclaimed rival for Saitama.
And with the most redundant name in anime history. Speedo Sound Sonic.
It's like,
what happens if you take Sonic and combine him with Sasuke? Speedo Sound Sonic. Black Streak speeds by.
After being humiliated, defeated by Saitama, let's see, with one hit through the private parts, he vows to defeat him.
In slow motion too, like ah.
Oh, that was brilliant. But yeah. So during the way, so as a result of this, they both joined the Hero Association, which, as I said, was indirectly created by Saitama saving like a rich guy's kid with butt cheeks. But hey,
yeah. The backstory of that is that Saitama, before he became the superhero that he was, saved this double chin boy who kind of looks suggestive. But he saved him from this guy named Crablante. Now, Crablante was a businessman who ate so much crab that he turned into this monster crab guy. And Saitama just basically, like, through a lot of effort, ends up beating Crablante using his tie and ripping out his guts through his eye socket or something like that. And well, it shows the beginning of Saitama wanting to be a hero. And he explains.
Because at this point, he had a dead-end job. He was he was trying to get a dead-end job, but point of life. But fighting this monster gave him, let's see, a thrill that he hasn't had in a long time, and realized his dream of being a hero that could defeat any enemy with one punch. And by the way, he had hair back then. He actually looks pretty good looking, I would say.
Yeah. Hell, I mean, like and I'm going to use this term because it's the best way I can describe it. Pre-Limit Break Saitama was actually number 8 in the popularity polls.
Oh boy!
Literally the same characters on there twice for the same popularity poll.
It's like, let's see. Oh, he's so popular. I want to make out with him or something if those fangirls. But okay, maybe I'm being.
Oh no! The fangirls are like, oh my god, he's so popular. Let's have him and Genos make out. And until you get the episode where Saitama's like, well, I'm not into dudes.
Sometimes I wonder if perhaps Kishimoto just ended up just made Naruto or Sasuke say that. He could have saved years of disappointment for Sasunawa fans, but hey.
Yep, everyone loves the noodle sausage.
But anyway, let's see, joking aside, but yeah, due to the fact that the Hero Association, Saitama and Genos apply for it, and Well, Genos becomes S-class because you get perfect score on the training and the quiz thing, while Saitama all the training score records due to the fact that... Let's go on.
Well, and him taking credit for inadvertently taking credit for what Saitama did.
Well, granted, I think that was more of an anime scene, but we'll get to that. But,
No. They did the House of Genos.
Oh, yes.
Before they went to the Hero Association, yeah.
That's it, but yeah. But anyway, due to the fact, Saitama, due to the fact, not really paying to being a bit lazy with the hero written exam thing, loads due to the fact he scored poorly on it. Which only made him barely pass. The test, which was a 71 score, as most people are expected to pass the writing test because apparently it's pretty easy. It's all the muscle training that's the hard part. Saitama did that. He did the test scores poorly, so he ended up being in C class.
Which is not bad, but I mean, it's kind of at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah. So in other words, he's the hero in last place at the moment, but hey. But in many ways, it's sort of a flaw with the... But I think it's the first sign of the flaws of, like, the hero ranking system.
Yeah.
As powerful as Saitama, due to failing a written test, ends up dead last in the hero rankings, in the lowest rankings and stuff, but yeah.
It's like rank C, 685, something like that.
Yeah. But either way, but yeah. But due to the fact he's also C rank, he has to try and do hero work every week, otherwise he loses his license. But he only does like the news and big events. Which of course gets him to like a rematch with Speedo Sonic, and he easily beats him after he tries to cause a scene to make him fight him. But yeah. And throughout this, I suppose what we call this, these first few arcs as a saga, I suppose maybe the Hero Beginning saga, or Hero Association saga. I don't know, because some of the later arcs in the series are part of like big sagas. I'm not sure which one.
Well, but these arcs don't last long. They're like, 2 episodes, next arc.
Yeah. But anyway, or like the intro saga or something. But
we'll discuss this later. But you all noticing a pattern with this story?
Uh-huh.
We'll get there. We'll get the discussion at the end for this one. But notice a pattern when we talk about this.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, during like the next few arcs, Saitama meets like heroes such as Bong and Moomin Rider. I do not have images for those, by the way, so you can find them in
Moomin Rider's a very Moomin Rider is a very popular character too. He's actually one of the heroes that he's very artful about it. Even if he doesn't have the power for it.
Yeah, in many ways, he's one of the heroes that doesn't have the strength, but he has the ideals of the ideals of a true hero. This guy here.
Yeah. And the second person that understands Thomas' true strength.
Yeah, it's the second person to realize the true... Well, maybe third person, because before that, there's Silver Fox Bang, who's here in this corner here, but it's cropped out, but stuff. Who, in any other series, would be the old master, like, mentor to the protagonist. But, of course, Saitama doesn't need that. Who witnesses his strength after he destroys a meteor. So, yeah. Who would have an impact on the story, and his character would have an impact on the latest story arcs of the manga. We'll get to that in a bit, but yeah. But during this course, as Saitama does his heroic acts, increases his rank rapidly, other more jealous, lower rank heroes try to discredit him and turn the public against him. Though it doesn't bother him too much. And eventually, we get to like the the final arc of like the first arc, in which makes up volumes 6 and 7, I believe, in which introductions in all the S-class heroes. Some of them are here, like King, Prisoner, Tsukimono, Tornado Terror, Atomic Samurai, and stuff. But yeah. Tornado Terror here is, let's see, is regarded as like the second most powerful hero. The only ones that we are not introduced to at this point is like the mysterious Blast. But hey,
Blast.
There's
An enigma.
It seems like, let's see, but this arc's meeting discusses what is probably the most recurring storyline in One Punch right now that has had an impact on quite a few of the arcs. Like this prophecy from this old lady that says the world is in danger. Not much details, but given how she's never wrote in this, apparently in the next 6 months, something bad is likely to happen. And the Hero Association needs the heroes to prepare. Thus, Saitama says it could happen right now, and stuff. And then the A City is destroyed by this space pirate group, led by this fella. Yeah,
Burus.
And he's the first villain to survive one punch from Saitama. And the fact that he acknowledges Saitama so strong that he has to keep changing his form, which
sound familiar to anybody?
Think of any. Let's see. You can think of any shonen manga that you've probably read, but yeah, yeah. Kamehameha! But yeah. And this is like the closest we get to a full-on fight with Saitama, while the S-class heroes are fighting like it's one of the other guy's henchmen. And let's see, probably for many people, especially the Madhouse anime adaptation, probably regarded as one of the best fights in shonen manga in anime history.
Oh yeah.
Ends up,
and it wasn't even a fight.
Yeah. And it's let's see. Eventually, Saitama. We've learned that Saitama has a more advanced set of moves called the Serious Punch, which he does kill.
Killer move. Serious punch.
Yeah. Let's see. As we revealed, that was not even close to his true strength either.
Yeah.
And as you hear in the anime, it's kind of like a somber thing because Boros finally found an opponent he's been waiting for. But let's see, Saitama.
And Boros has described that he's been going from planet to planet, blowing him up as he goes because he can't find an opponent worthy enough to challenge him. Supposedly that's right. He wears armor that's supposed to hold back his power.
Oh yeah. The standard, let's see. No one's strong enough, so I gotta weaken myself. Thing.
Yeah.
Like
so Boros is so powerful that he kicks Saitama. He knees him in the gut and kicks him from the planet Earth to the moon in under a second.
Oh yeah.
And then Saitama's like, "Well, this is mildly inconvenient."
But yeah.
And he just goes back.
In many ways, this also criticizes the
Goku, where you at?
Seems to also criticize the very concept of prophecies that have been happening in quite a few shonen manga as of late.
Yeah. Well, if we're gonna get into this, we can get into this now. You know something about One Punch Man when you watch the entire series and you realize. See, a lot of people love to say that One Punch Man is a gag character or he's a parody. No, that's not what Saitama is. Bobobo is a gag character. He's a parody. He just makes up stupid powers on the fly and then all of a sudden just solves the problem. Like, oh, I'm going to turn my mustache into spaghetti, which is going to cause you to like have a reaction that's going to like save the planet or something like that. That's a gag character. Saitama is a deconstruction. Every single shonen trope that you could think of, Saitama laughs at it. Oh, the more hair a character has, the more powerful they are. Saitama has no hair. The character's all about breaking their limits and reaching those limits and try to break them with a new transformation. Saitama already has broken his limiter, and he's as powerful as he could be to the point that he can beat everybody in a half-hearted punch without trying. Everyone has these tragic long-winded backstories. My parents were killed. I was left all alone. The Fire Nation attacked. Then the ninjas came, and then this happened, and then I was put into slavery. Saitama's just like, I'm just doing it for a hobby.
Uh-huh.
So you have this character that's flying in the face of every single trope. And everything he fights is a representation of the same tropes that every other shonen hero fights. Excuse me. You have Vaccine Man, Vaccine Man, who is voiced by Chris Spot, by the way, and looks like Piccolo. And it's so they've been plaguing the Mother Earth, and they created this character, and then Saitama just defeats the one punch because he has his backstory. Then you have the brothers come along, and one of them turns into this giant Titan thing, Attack on Titan, and what does Saitama do? He hits him with one punch, it kills him instantaneously. Then you have the Mosquito Girl, who, arguably could be like My Hero Academia or something like that. Boom, one slap, she's done. And over and over and over, and every single character is these tropes that you normally see in every other shonen, and Saitama just laughs in the face of it. He's like, why? Keep it to 20 words or less. You don't need a long backstory. I'm just a character I'm just a person who's doing things because I want to do it. I don't need a reason other than that to do all this stuff. And I've reached a limit to where I'm bored with all of you. It's boring. You're boring me. Boros is basically Frieza. It's basically Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. Has the transformations, can blow up planets with ease. Trying to find a good opponent. It's a tyrant, and then Saitama's just like, bitch, please.
Yeah, I would say for the Mosquito Girl, it might be a deconstruction of all those monster animes, the way you make the, let's see, women monsters look all sexy and stuff. But hey, that's just me. But that's mostly.
And you might be right, but I can't think of any like that except for Monster Musume. But whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, after this,
and she's a bloodsucker.
After this villain, we end up introduced to like King, two new characters, King and Fukabi. King here, who
Fubuki.
is Fubuki. I've got a more better image of her somewhere. Here it is. This perhaps the most developed character in One Punch Man, and in the probably manga, probably the most sexy looking. But hey,
and would you believe that she's the younger sister of Tatsumaki?
Yeah, because let's see, Tatsumaki is pretty much a sort of lolly character, but hey.
I have to say, one of the funniest scenes I laugh at so hard is when like Tatsumaki, who's the rank 2, she's the strongest after Blast of the heroes in the Hero Association. And Saitama's like, "What's with this sassy lost child?" Like.
And she definitely acts like that whenever Saitama or someone like Jonas makes her mad. So yeah, but King Itzy is everything you would expect of a overpowered badass. He looks as scary as like Kenpachi and stuff. People cower when they hear his name, but when you get to it, he's actually a fraud and a fake. And it just ends up, and we find out, being a standby. Whenever Saitama is wiping out a strong opponent.
Yeah, he's always there, and they give him the credit for it.
So yeah, which he's only ever really confessed to Saitama, as he realizes he is him, though Saitama holds no grudge, and even asks to play video games with him, which is one of the only few times you ever see Saitama losing.
Yeah.
He does, he cannot beat King.
But you know what the funny thing is? King is probably one of the better characters in the series.
Oh yeah.
There's one scene where Saitama actually goes to King and asks him, like, I've reached the point where I can't get any stronger. I'm the strongest there is. There's nothing I could do. How else can I challenge myself? And King, who is an otaku, and he plays video games and stuff like that, and he loves to stay home and play video games, he talks about how in video games, when you reach the max level, you could challenge yourself in other ways, like, oh, okay, I'm going to go through the game and only use a certain weapon. Oh, I'm going to go through this game and try to do it as fast as I can. I'm going to go through this game and only use a certain power set. You know, challenge yourself in other ways other than just trying to be the strongest the character that is. And this is especially true in RPG characters, where you can make yourself the strongest character ever, but have you really done everything in the game? No.
Also, in like some of the one-shot chapters in the manga, King proved to be very useful for when Saitama's group went up against Fukabi's group or the Blizzard group in a video game matchup.
Yeah. So there's a side story that goes on where Fubuki is trying so hard to get Saitama to join her Blizzard gang because Fubuki is not as powerful as her sister Tatsumaki, so she thinks that she can gain power by having a gang follow her of some of the strongest heroes. Now, when Saitama reaches Class B rank after he blows up the meteor and proves himself, and they do the interview to him raising the ranks, Tatsumaki is a B rank hero, and she's the one that decides. What?
Stands at the top of the B ranks. So
yeah, Fubuki stands at the top of the B ranks, and she's like, okay, if you're gonna, anybody who gets the B ranks first, I challenge them to make sure that they deserve to be here, which is something not too dissimilar from Amai Mask, who is Class A rank 1, but this is a different story. But Fubuki challenges Saitama, and Saitama's just like, why do you need a gang to be strong? You know, you don't need that. That's just fake. You have to be strong on your own. And there's a slight fight between them, but it's kind of just Saitama just kind of like flicking her in the head and going like, what are you doing? You know, kind of thing. Yeah. And then in the middle of it, Genos is fighting Speed of Sound Sonic, and we get this killer move, serious sidestepping, which is another move that he does. He's just making these up as he goes, believe me.
I wonder if he was trying to make fun of the Naruto Shadow Clone Jutsu at that point.
Oh yeah, he was. He totally was. Totally was. The Speed of Sound Sonic is just a deconstruction of Naruto on a whole level. So it just is.
But yeah. And it's doing this with the Fukabi learns that people like Genos and King, really strong, with the supposedly really strong heroes, end up following and Bang.
She shows up one day to his apartment. It's like, why are these S-class heroes all in my apartment? So Thomas is like, why are these heroes keep coming to my apartment? I don't have this much room.
It's like
it's getting crowded. Can you all leave? I just let Genos here because he pays rent.
Let's see, Saitama pretty much. Let's see, just due to his natural heroism and strength, attracts the strong and even the weak. In the case of like Moon Rider, who.
Yeah, totally a Saitama Fubuki fan here.
But yeah, let's see. Probably the only shipping couple I could probably accept though. Whether or not one is going to do that, which I doubt, because One Punch Man has not got a romance subplot. But hey,
yeah. Although I will say it's strangely surprising that Mob from Mob Psycho, the other series that one does, kind of looks like their kid if they had one.
I guess.
Just saying. Just an observation. Nothing concrete. Just saying. It's just an observation.
Well, let's see. Who knows? I do know that. Let's see. Tornado Terror could defeat Mob in a normal psychic battle, but if Mob is in like his unknown percentage for win.
Yeah, his question mark mode.
Okay, it should be noted that Mob's parents are known in that manga, but who knows? Perhaps Saitama is the grandfather. You never know. But hey.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Since we're following the webcomic, we end up getting introduced to like Garo, who is Bong's disciple who chased away all his students. In other words, he's like the fallen / rival. Let's see, your Orochimaru's, your Sasuke Aizens, I guess, or your Sasuke Uchihas. Stuff like that. Let's see, who is a human that wants to hunt like a monster against the heroes.
He reads for the bad guy.
Yeah, it takes out a few S-class heroes. Eventually, Bang and Genos confront him, and let's see, he runs into the Monster Association, where, let's see, which wants to see if he's really wants to be a monster and stuff. So they give him a task. He ends up being beaten by Saitama and ends up saving a kid. So the monsters end up kidnapping him and the kid. And then you get this big battle between most of the S-class heroes and all these monsters. And it leads to, like, eventually the final fight between Saitama and Garo, and this is perhaps it's also the closest thing Saitama has had to a real long fight, because Garo was able to survive. Eventually, of course, he beats him.
Yeah. Well, Saitama wasn't really trying to kill him anyway.
No. Because he could tell that Garo just wasn't really into it, because deep down, Garo wanted to actually be a hero.
Yeah. And see, that's another thing that's a plot point, is that some characters Saitama meets, he's not trying to kill them, he's trying to incapacitate them, which is why you see some people, like, he'll just, like, either headbutt them or hit them with his hip or something like that, and they'll just be knocked out. They won't be, like, killed.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Saitama can hold back his power.
Yeah. He kills monsters no matter what, because, well, let's see, they're monsters, but let's see, of course, he tries to hold back because he wants to have a nice fight.
Yeah, well, he kills monsters that ruthlessly kill for their own pleasure. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then people make an argument for Garo, I guess, for some reason, but Garo doesn't actually kill people. I mean, he beats them up. Don't get me wrong; he beats some of them up pretty fiercely, but none of them really die.
No,
which is interesting.
I think it's deep down, he doesn't really want to be the villain. He actually wants to be the hero, but yeah.
Yeah. But he has a point, though. That's the one thing I like about Garo, because the modern heroes, at least in the One Punch Man universe, they're more about reputation than they are about being a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Because you all see them like, oh yeah, I'm the biggest, I'm the strongest, I could do this, I could take on anybody by myself, I don't shake hands with rookies, or that kind of attitude to everybody. But Saitama's not that kind of person. Saitama's more like,
if they also see another rising hero as a threat, they'll do the rookie crushing or hero crushing. Yeah,
which I tried to do with Saitama several times, and he's just like,
whoops, you're on touch. Let's see, but yeah. So yeah. And due to this, let's see, half the heroes after meeting Saitama either improve for the better or they get worse, depending on what happens, which happens after this arc, this saga, which is next is the Neo Hero saga, in which some more heroes have witnessed Saitama's strength, and others, let's see, due to their own weaknesses and abilities, have either lost confidence in themselves or even kind of gotten a thing like that. But anyway, due to the beating Garo, Saitama has moved up to A rank. And Fuka, she's trying, along with Fubuki, he tries to, apparently rescue the former leader of the Monsters Association, who's also another psychic, before Tornado of Terror can,
yeah,
kill her.
Which is all an interesting fight.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of all these little stories that can happen in between that some would argue could trudge on a little bit, and some of them do. I'm not going to lie, and because this story is not perfect. We're not going to say that the story is completely 100% perfect, because no story is. There are some parts where the One Punch Man story gets kind of it trudges through things, and you don't see Saitama that much. He's supposed to be the main character, but you don't see him that much unless things get really dire.
Of course, which is fine. I mean, it seems one's trying to build up the world of heroes and One Punch Man, and of course, it is going to come at some point. One punch, just having a hero one punch all the time can get a bit boring. So it's like you need to try and make it a bit more exciting again. But yeah. That's quite fun.
But when the heroes meet Saitama, they kind of have like this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because they live this high life of believing that this is their rank, that they're powerful, they could do this, and they've never been challenged in certain ways. Then here comes Saitama, and he just laughs at their efforts.
Oh yeah.
And no, not literally, but like he just makes it look like their efforts were for nothing. But instead of like them giving up, Saitama will give like this heartfelt speech that sounds ridiculous but means a lot to them. And a couple of the heroes actually turn out to be better people because of it.
Yeah. And which we're going to get to, because let's see, I just wanted to point out some of the funny things that happened when Saitama and Tornado of Terror were fighting. Metal Bat was going off to fight a monster in the crossfire. Let's see, this group of villains were fighting a hero. They wipe out villains. Speeder Sonic tries to fight Saitama again, gets his butt whooped by accident.
Jeez, who saw that coming?
But as let's see, Tornado of Terror finally starts to wear off. Fubuki, in an attempt to protect her, let's see, tries to distance them from herself because Tornado of Terror at this point wants to wipe them out so that her sister can become stronger. And she tries to take on Tornado of Terror by herself, but the group comes in. Let's see, Saitama does point out that this is your biggest chance to beat Ita, but at this point, the group wants to get stronger together in order to prove to Tornado of Terror that they're not weak. Which,
yeah.
Anyways, let's see.
And what does Saitama do? Calls her a brat.
But anyway,
you don't call Tatsumaki a brat.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, don't call Tatsumaki a brat. Rule number 2, do not call Tatsumaki a brat.
But anyways, like you were saying, some of Saitama's speech. Let's see, the Blizzard group seems to have properly been one of those heroes that have changed for the better. As by the end of this, Fukubi decides to move up to A rank, and I think the group wants to try and work more as a team rather than just a group of minions to try and try and crush everyone.
You know what I love about Fubuki, though?
What?
The OVAs or the side stories about her. Okay. What I love most about them is how silly her organization is all about image. So you think of Batman, he has this awesome car and everything, like, or you see these heroes and they have these awesome vehicles and they come into battle. I'm here to save the day. Fubuki tries to do that. Like, hey, we need a sick ass ride. So they get all this job to try to buy this wicked ride, this expensive car, and they can't get to the monster quickly enough because there's heavy traffic.
And Saitama just walks up there, just runs there to deal with the monster.
Yeah. So the idea, it's just this funny. Again, it's all about deconstructing all the tropes that you see, even in American comic books, of like, oh well, here's this character that drives a car around all over the place. Well, how can it get there if something is attacking and it causes a traffic jam? How they're gonna get there?
But anyway, but as I said, this was the Neo Hero Saga. During this saga, let's see, a new hero group called the Near Heroes being formed, made up of like powerful heroes that were not part of the Hero Station, and they even attempt to recruit some S classes. I mean, Jane Austen nearly got recruited until Saitama said, "Nah, I'm fine with staying where I am."
Yeah, but they do recruit some of the A rankers
and some of the S class, such as Child Emperor, Super Alloy Darkshine, and Metal Bat. And even this Hero Association member called McCoy something with 9.
Super Allo Darkshine.
Yeah. Let's see, now, Child Emperor joins because he's become deluded with the Hero Association's lack of preparing and all that stuff. Darkshine Ally. Let's see, he's joined because he's lost his confidence in himself after losing to Garo. Because he always thought his muscles could beat him. And Melbat, I don't really understand, can't really call his motivations for leaving, but
most of the reasons because I think the Hero Association's kind of whack.
Yeah, and corrupt and all that stuff.
Yeah, they think it's just a publicity stunt. instead of an actual organization to help people being a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a money grab. Like people think of people treating it more like a corporation than they do a hero, like a group of heroes. It's very similar to New Warriors in Marvel, how they did it with the Avengers.
Deluded with the Avengers, they fall down superhero team. Fair enough.
Yeah, but you forgot the most important detail.
What's that?
Who's leading the Neo heroes?
Oh yeah, I was getting to that. Someone called Blue, which is apparently the son of Blast. This is something I forgot to mention. Let's see, after the fight with Tornado of Terror, Saitama ends up trying to ask her why she became a hero, and it's revealed she joined because of Blast, who, strangely enough, looks like a cooler version of Saitama that has his hair, which has led many to speculate unlike the Scar, the One Punch strength.
Yeah. Although some people also have a theory that this might be the anime version of Superman.
Fair enough.
Because he has a similar power set. He's super strong, can fly, has this eye beam thing, can control robots with his mind, has telekinetic thing, So could you imagine that kind of story element where you realize that Blast is actually Superman?
But yeah, now of course Blast is yet to be formally introduced. So we don't know, but yeah. But anyway, as a result, let's see. Some of the other S-Class heroes, you have King trying to actually train, but let's see, Barring has retired. And due to the fact that he's getting worried that he's going to be found out at some point, he tries to go to all these martial arts things and happen to go. But at the moment, he still has to just improvise. But it seems like he's starting to realize, okay, I got to do something, otherwise I might end up being killed one day.
Mm-hmm. Especially when he keeps running into more and more monsters lately.
Yeah. Let's see. Metal Knight is starting to lose trust with the Hero Association, and all that stuff. Let's see. Zombie Man, after witnessing Saitama's strength, goes back to his sort of creator sorts. Let's see, the House of Evolution scientist.
Yeah, Genus.
Yeah, who just explained what Saitama's ability is, Limit Breaker and stuff. And apparently, he's going to do something to help him get stronger. Let's see, like that. The Atomic Samurai wants to try and find a new rival or improve himself. And let's see, what else is there? Let's see, the Flashy Flash wants to train Saitama. He knows he's strong, but he feels like he doesn't have any proper techniques.
Yeah.
Because, Flashy Flash is a bit cocky, but due to this, we end up getting to the next arc in which we learn that him and Speedo Sonic were actually classmates in this sort of ninja training assassin school. Flashy Flash destroyed the program, and all the other students tried to kill him, but him and Sonic end up teaming up to fight all the other.
There's also a story with Blast attacking the said ninja schools too, and wiping most of them out.
Yeah,
but we don't know much about that one yet. It's just hinted at.
But it's a new development, and it gets a bit more in depth to Speedo Sonic. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Blast will be the final villain of the series?
What, Blast?
Yeah.
Part of me thinks so. Yeah, but we'll get that to more of the expectations. But yeah. Let's see. But anyway, another. Sweet Mask. Due to being obsessed with the beauty of Saitama's strength, tries to make Saitama into a hero like him. But due to Saitama being Saitama, he can't really do that.
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, when Saitama meets all the other heroes and he actually fights against them in these weird little spats that they have, he kind of hits them with a reality. A reality punch, if metaphorically speaking, where okay, so he fights, he does a thing with Flashy Flash 2 times. The first time, he joins Flashy Flash, and Flashy Flash is oh well, yeah, or they also call him Lightspeed Flash in the original, but Flashy Flash, he first meets Tama when they're fighting the monsters, Monsters Association, and or Monsters Inc. I guess. But he like Flashy Flash tries to like lose Saitama in the crowd because he's like, oh, I'm just gonna outrun him because I don't want a B ranker like him to get hurt or anything when I'm fighting all these strong monsters. And Saitama's like not only keeping up with him, but asking him, "Are you just going around in circles? Because I don't think you know where you're going."
But yeah, but
And then there is a moment where they actually do fight, and Flashy Flash is like gets to the point that he wants to kill Saitama. He gets that urge to want to kill him because he's like he's like because he feels Saitama's making a fool out of him, and Saitama's like, "Well, this is pretty good warm up. Hey, invite me if you want to do this again sometime." And like Flashy Flash is just flummoxed, And Flashy Flash is said to be light speed at maximum potential, so is Orochi, and Saitama easily manhandles him too. So when people ask me what kind of power gauge Saitama has, well, he's at least a planet buster, and he at least is at least as fast as light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, let's see. But as Sweet Mask tries more and more to get Saitama to see his image, he eventually reveals to Saitama that he used to be really ugly, but due to his freshness over his appearance, he ends up getting a beautiful look, and it's revealed that he's actually been monsterfied, which has been kind of hinted at throughout the series.
Yeah, especially when he hates ugly things.
Let's see, and as a result, the only reason why he's still be able to keep on to his humanity is because, well, he's just been fighting monsters and stuff and trying to save people. But Saitama, of course, tells him to try and be himself, and eventually, Sweet Mask encounters some monster. I haven't really read or fully read this part, but he ends up being forced to reveal his true form, which is this disgusting-looking, like monster-like appearance. He saves everyone, but due to his appearance, everyone calls him a monster and stuff.
Yeah, you guys. Okay, I'll shut up.
Let's see, but Saitama, let's see, finally, like, acknowledges Sweet Mask, saying, yeah, what you did was pretty cool. Gets him out of there, and granted, now, Sweet Mask is being hunted by the Neo heroes, particularly Blue. Of course, because, so that's the last we've seen of Sweet Mask for a while, though. Clearly, due to this revelation, the Hero Association's public image and sponsors have crumbled, and it looks like the organization's in serious trouble while the Neo heroes are rising to the challenge with all these powerful heroes they recruited and stuff.
It's all politics.
Yeah. Well, to mention one of the monsters that during the Monster Association saga, Black Sperm, who is extremely powerful, by the way, defeated by Garo, and it's reduced to his single little tiny form.
Yeah.
And one of Saitama's pets with this monster dog called Rover, who's been taken care of by some A-class heroes that witness Saitama's strength against Tornado Terror.
Yeah, and who's loyal to Saitama because Saitama kicked its ass.
Yeah. But let's see, but Sperm kind of confidence while the heroes are playing these politics, this gives chance for other monster organizations to rise and crush them while they're doing their petty spats, as neither organization are acting like true heroes right now. It's just petty politics and all that stuff.
Yeah, this series is a lot of world building.
But yeah. But let's see. Well, there are new heroes filling the ranks of the Hero Association in the A class. This martial artist that's related to a character that ends up being introduced in the manga, which we'll talk about that when we get to the manga section.
Yeah.
Saitama is too busy with other low-class heroes, even though he's now A rank, who actually got the habit of, unfortunately, got unlucky that were labeled very dumb or embarrassing or stupid hero names by the association. So he's trying to get them to change their hero names because he's finally sick of being called Kate Baldy.
Oh, yeah. That was such a dumb name for him too.
Unfortunately, let's see. Unfortunately, due to the fact no one believes he can beat people in one punch, he cannot be called One Punch Man.
Yeah, I think eventually he's gonna be called that though.
Yeah, I think probably by the end of the series, but yeah. But at the moment, this is where the webcomic sort of ends. Where I think a lot of dragons are attacking. You have a bunch of S class from the Hero Association, and many of the strong heroes from the Neo Heroes starting to fight.
Yeah, you're basically like if you were making a comparison to comic books here in America, we're basically at that Marvel Civil War kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks like you're about to have like the Civil War where let's see, different ideologies of heroes are about to clash. Which organization will be remains to be seen. But yeah, but it is interesting because at the moment, from what I can tell, the Neo Heroes have at least 2,000 heroes, while the Hero Station has a few hundred, and Hero Association has kind of lost about at least out of their S class heroes or S class or S level strength, with like Bang retiring, a few of them going to the Neo Heroes, and Sweet Mask forced to resign because he's been exposed as a monster.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what C1's planning to do with this, but we'll find out as more webcomic chapters are released. But anyway, I think it's time when we can finally get to the manga, because for the most part, when the manga adaptation was going, and it for the most part stayed true, up until Garo defeated the S-class hero here, Tamp Talk Master, which is kind of the recurring joke of anyone with a Tamp Talk gets their butts kicked.
Yeah.
Let's see, Bang's one disciple, Charo, gets beaten, and Saitama learns he signed up for a tournament, and he ends up disguising himself for that tournament, in which we are introduced to like characters that were later to be introduced in the webcomic. Let's see, Sourface, and Syria. So, let's say I don't have any images of the characters, but
well, everyone can check it out for themselves.
Yeah.
We revealed some big major points, but there's a lot of small things in the story that we haven't said that are very interesting, and they add more to the story. That you get more in depth to certain other characters. Not everything, mind you, but we're getting there. The story's getting there.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I will say this though, that the power sets between the manga and the webcomic are different.
Yeah, as some of the heroes that have not yet been shown to fight yet have shown to fight in the manga. For example, Metal Bat fights Garo in the manga, which that didn't happen.
Yeah.
More of I'm trying to remember Drive Knight's abilities, which he seems to have like this box that can transform him.
Zombie Man got a boost.
Oh yeah, and you see Watchdog Man, let's see, who seems to have overwhelming strength when he defends only his block of the city and fights like a dog.
Yeah.
He's like, let's see, doing a paw to Gao's attacks, but yeah, which made some to believe that as Watchdog Man might have, let's see, similar strength to Saitama, though not on the same level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to explain this one. This one's actually pretty easy to explain.
Mm-hmm.
So, Watchdog Man, Boros, Garo, and a few others, they train and they get as strong as they can, and they reach that point where if they got any more, it became a plateau. You know, the plateau effect. Okay. Or they reach to a point where they're like, I'm satisfied with the strength that I'm at. I'm as strong as I believe I can be. I don't need to go any farther. Saitama didn't believe in that, but Saitama just kept going. Because Saitama was one-punching monsters about 1.5 years into his training. And you see that. You see him moments of like one-punching monsters and killing them in one punch just 1.5 years after he started his training, but then he kept training. And this has just been both described by one and Yusuke Murata, that what really gives Saitama his great strength is not that he trained to be that way, is that he never stops training. He never stopped training even when he reached his that maximum limiter that you could get to. This is unlike all the other ones that reach that limiter and like, well, this is it. This is as strong as I can be. No, Saitama broke his limiter. That's why he can keep going. That's why that's why instead of the plateau effect taking control, where eventually you just can't get any stronger, that he just basically broke the plateau effect and just it just became an uphill thing. So his power is always increasing, and arguably Saitama is getting stronger as the story keeps going. Like when he fights Boros versus when he fights Garo, he's actually weaker when he fought Boros, and he's stronger when he fought Garo. And this is another point that was driven up because they did an OVA about Genos creating a simulation. I think it was Genos created the simulation where Genos created Saitama back when he first at a certain point, and then he had Saitama beat it, and Saitama beat himself in the simulation, which it could be an allegory that Saitama's always getting stronger.
Which, take note, let's see other shonen manga, because you don't have to limit your side characters when you've done like one story arc with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, which seems to be a problem with most, which is tending to being a problem with most mangas, because after a certain point, side characters stop being relevant and they kind of get sidelined. Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Dragon Ball. This should be another podcast. Okay, so me and Manga Reader have a big argument over Dragon Ball, but this is a different thing.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe ask Manga Reader if you and him like to do a sort of Dragon Ball live stream discussion on my thing. But
yeah,
anyway,
we should totally do it. But
yeah. Anyway,
I mean, my point is that the idea of One Punch Man is you have all these stories. And you have all these cliches and you have all these tropes, and they're fine. There's nothing wrong with the tropes and everything like that, but it gets boring after a while. You can't keep having a character like Goku. You can't keep having the character struggle every single time. There has to be a point where he's going to fight someone or something that is no challenge to him. And you're like, well, that would be boring. Maybe, but then how you switch it up is, well, just punching it doesn't solve the problem now, does it? Sometimes there are other ways to solve a problem. This is why Superman is a little bit more relatable than Goku, and why I think Saitama could take a few pages from Superman, because Superman arguably is unlimited as well. He doesn't have any limit or cap to his power. He could do almost anything that he wants. But the story is not about being the most powerful. The story is about being a good person. And this is what Saitama could be. He's about being the best hero he could be. And that's his struggle, is finding enjoyment out of life being a hero. It's not about being the strongest hero. He already is the strongest hero. What else can you do? Well, then you focus on the character. You focus on what his motivations are. You focus on what he wants to do with this strength. You focus on what is right versus what is wrong. You focus on what can this person do with their life other than just keep flexing their muscles. This is why I love this series so much, because it's flying in the face of Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. Even My Hero Academia is doing this, doing these damn tropes. All the stereotypical shonen. Rurouni Kenshin I'm not going to throw in this list because I actually like Rurouni Kenshin. For one, I'm kind of biased about it, and two, Rurouni Kenshin does call itself out on a few stuff, so I'm not going to fault it for that.
Fair enough. Anyway.
But that's my point, is that Saitama is a deconstruction of everything, and is trying to look at everything from a new light, basically.
Anyway, let's see. Anyway, one thing that manga does differently is, because we're talking about Tsuruya, because what happens, we have a martial arts tournament, which in the regular webcomic, there hasn't been a tournament arc yet. But
yeah.
Now, granted, most mangas at some point end up having a tournament arc. The only exception I can think of, let's see, is Bleach. But hey,
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay, let's see. Well, Yu Yu Hakusho actually did have two tournaments actually. Let's see, but yeah, the Dark Tournament and the one at the Final Saga, which I thought were going to become a war arc, but hey. But with the way it was going, but then again, I had some back problems with the thing. But yeah, normally there's some tournaments, but here, let's see, of course, Saitama is making fun of like the whole tournament tropes where you get like all these super strong, deadly people, and you think, oh, he's going to die, but of course he one-shots them. And
one-shots him. He owns him by not doing.
But yeah. But yeah. My favorite one is when Saitama appears to be fighting this sort of, let's see, feels to be sort of like a blood superiority, this genetics guy who sounds like a bit of like a sounds like a Nazi, really. With like his, like, the purity of his blood, his genes have become like the perfect specimen. Granted, it could also just be a criticism of like mangas that rely too much on bloodlines and all that stuff, but Saitama ends up having like the best response saying, all you're doing is just comparing things to corn. Change it, make it super.
So you're the most perfect corn. Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're still just corn. And then he beats him. But this arc is mostly to show off Suryu, though granted, you also see one of Barnes' former disciples with this sort of sour-faced dude that Saitama easily beats, though, who cannot seem to tell that Saitama is not Charo. Hey?
Yeah.
But granted, he's actually pretty young. And you also see him in the webcomic later when King's trying to find martial artists to train him. Let's see.
Suryu is actually a really great character.
Yeah, he's like this cocky young ladies' man who
just does it for the money. He has the power.
He thinks heroes are pointless, and fights that we end up seeing.
Kind of reminds me of another character.
I think I have an idea who you might be, but yeah.
Do you know?
See, I assume it's beginning with an N, but hey.
Tell me in the comments what character you think I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a second. But yeah. Am I right or am I wrong?
What do you say, people? Is he right or wrong in the comments?
Well, I've put it in the private chat. Let me actually put it in the public chat. Granted, I think I'm the only one watching this, but oh well.
No, it's not Naruto. It's not Naruto.
Okay, but let's see. But so who is it? That's a curiosity.
Think of one of the other big three.
Is it this character? Nami. No.
He's actually an early stage of Goku.
Oh, Goku. Fair enough.
Remember how he's always fighting a strong opponent, always trying to win the tournament, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah. Anyway, Suryu fights, let's see, two heroes that we've seen before. A-class hero, Sneaky Sneak, who tried to rookie crush Saitama.
So, Sneaky Sneak. Some people say Snake, but they would be wrong. It's Snek. S-N-E-K. Snek.
Yeah. And another hero, I'm trying to remember his name. It's an A-rank hero who got beaten up by Sea King. Some Flash dude. Flash Kick or something? I can't remember his name. It's been a while.
Is that Lightning dude?
Lightning.
Lightning Rush?
I think so. I can't recall. But either way, heroes that have been defeated by monster, heroes that Saitama ended up saving, but yeah. But seem to have also improved after their encounters with Saitama, at least. But the Suryu is mostly mocking heroes at this point. Eventually, when he fights Saitama, he ends up mocking heroes. Though, fun enough, at the same time, let's see, because the Monster Association is attacking him. Let's see. It's much more, and the roster is much more expanded to 500 monsters.
Mm-hmm.
During one of these attacks, they're attacking a hospital in which Moomin Rider and Tank Top Master are, and you see those two heroically saving people, despite their own injuries. Of course, when you mark heroes in front of Saitama, he's going to get a little angry, which he does, blows and punch with rips off like Sisura's top, and let's see, and he gives them the advice: if you want to carry a free, easy life, don't get stronger. Of course, due to the fact that his whip is been off, he gets disqualified. So in a sense, Saitama loses a match, but still wins the battle when Tsuyu and him properly fight, in which Saitama seems to think martial arts is all about the twirls.
Yeah. There's this funny scene where he's just, so you just spin around all frantically, right? And he starts spinning around, and he actually hits Surya with his hip, sending him into the audience and cracking the entire thing. It's cracking the stage and everything in the floors and knocking Surya into the audience, and he's just breaking everything. And Surya's like, how the hell?
That's it. Now, just to be clear, I don't think One Punch Man is criticizing real-life martial arts. I think he's just more of criticizing how some of the movies do over-the-top dance, flashy moves and stuff, but yeah.
Well, like I said, it's a deconstruction. Mm-hmm. It's not poking at martial arts itself, it's poking at media that talks about martial arts. Because, in martial arts in real life, it's all about discipline, control, and being one with yourself, and one with nature and everything like that. When everyone always thinks martial arts is about like beating the other person up, being the most powerful and stuff like that, if anything, it's poking fun at the people who think martial arts is anything more. It is basically used to beat people up. No, that's not what martial arts does.
No, it's mostly self-defense and all the discipline and stuff, and sometimes exercise. But yeah.
Yeah. Look at it like Shenmue. Here, if anybody's played Shenmue games, they do kung fu justice. But
anyway, due to the fact that Saitama's been exposed, he has to flee or get in trouble. Tsuyu ends up winning the tournament, but at a point, the first monsters attack the tournament, and the first champion of the martial arts, Goketsu or something, ends up coming in, and it's revealed that he was killed by. It was thought to be killed by a monster. Was actually ended up being spared by that monster and becoming one of the executives to the Monster Association.
Yeah, and recruiters.
This guy here, who is in the manga, this character is added into manga as the leader, King Orochi, a sort of like the king of monsters, as you will. In which has the ability to create these monster cells which turn people into monsters. One of them being, which happens to some of the martial artists in the tournament. One of them being this guy who had lightning powers. One that was like, this sort of in a suit guy. The sort of Nazi martial artist. Like this little weak villain that was from like this One Punch Man one-shot manga that tried to challenge Barnes Dojo, but Saitama's there and then later got beaten by Garo. And this muscled, friendly-looking fella who had like a kid's dojo, but due to the fact that he had low income, he seemed to have given up on life, so he ended up becoming a monster. A mindless one, have you? Tsuyu ends up fighting most of these guys. And then tries to take on Goketsu, gets his butt whooped, and then one of the opponents that Saitama fought earlier, a two-time champion, dude who wanted to crash Saitama, I've forgotten his name, tries to eat multiple monster cells, but seems to die from it. Then Tsuyu gets saved by the two A-rank heroes he was mocking earlier as they defeat these crow monsters that came with him. But they are beaten once again by the dragon level monster, the first martial arts champion, and then the two-time champion from like Saitama fought also ends up becoming a monster. try and pick on Suryu
Yeah.
after being defeated by the number one champion, and then gets saved by Saitama, and then wants to become a true thing. But it's very interesting how the manga does this bit, because this martial artist Doketutsu ended up beating Genos much earlier, and he's hyped up as like one of these ultimate monsters that needs all these S-class heroes. When Saitama goes to challenge him, he beats him off screen and his head lands flying. But I do believe that in some of the pages, the white pages in the manga volumes, you do actually see more of their encounters.
A little bit.
Yeah. But let's see, but the whole point is he gets beaten off screen. It's supposed to be a joke of like hype him up as a powerful guy, and well, he gets one shotted as usual.
Yeah. And like you hear like rumbling and everything, and Surya's like, I couldn't stop it. Oh god, the massacre, and then
And then let's see, Surya wants to become Saitama's disciple, but Saitama's not having any more disciples. And we won't see Surya again. I think actually we see him a few times in the manga afterwards, but you won't see. But in the webcomic, he's become part of the Neo Heroes, while his younger sister has become a part of the Hero Association, the A class. So yeah, which is one thing I'll say about the manga is that it's expanded the roster of female characters. Both mine.
Yeah. It also has become more graphic, I should say.
Yeah, there's a lot more art pages. I think one chapter where let's see Saitama's battling this, or Genos and Bang and all that stuff are battling this giant elder centipede, which is based off of a centipede from the webcomic. And it takes like 127 pages. It's like this one chapter is like nearly an entire volume's length of manga. I think it's like volume, 16 or 17. One of those ones, but yeah.
Volume 16, I believe.
Yeah. But this is where like the second season ends up ending, with Saitama using one of his serious punches to destroy this centipede. But one thing I was just saying, one of the pros of the manga is it managed to expand the cast, because one of the criticisms I think of early One Punch Man is the lack of diverse female cast. I mean, quantity over quality, and the two female characters we had, Fukubi and Tornado Terror, were great, but in terms of abilities, there wasn't much variety at that point. Let's see for the
still more diverse than Dragon Ball.
Or not.
Oh my god, did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did. You're gonna get Dragon Ball fans hating on my channel, but
yeah. I don't care. No, they can hate my channel all they want.
But yeah.
Hell, One Punch Man was getting like crap because of Super Metal Alloy. Dark Shine.
Oh yes, because
it was Black Shine in the original.
Right.
And they had a big problem with him. Like, oh, it's so racist. It's so racist. Why? Why is it racist?
I thought it was due to the fact that it turns out he isn't actually a black dude. He's actually seems to be some sort of white guy that when he became super strong, his skin became dark. I think that was the criticism, but let's not get into like too political there with it. I mean, I don't really know.
Well, unfortunately, slowly politics are creeping into the anime industry, but you're right. I mean, it's Japan is not really comfortable about it either, and they're not appreciative of it. But I'd be wary of the American market when it comes to anime and stuff like that, because they're having a big issue with all this stuff. But
I'm not entirely sure about stuff, but I think Japan has their own political problems, but I'm not going to get into that because I'm not an expert on it. But let's see. I do say another thing, at least, for like in terms of diversity in horror. I will say Suryu and his sister are more brown, darker skin than like some of the other protagonists there. So there's that positive at least. But hey, yeah. So as we were saying, like we had a tournament arc, and there's certain other stuff that happens in the manga that doesn't happen in the webcomic. For example, I think Saitama ends up meeting Genos's scientist friend, ally.
Oh yeah.
Met him yet in the thing. A bit more details in like the rescuing, in like the Hero Association versus the monster, as I believe a rich kid gets kidnapped along with like the kid that Garo befriends. So there's that, and many of the battles that happen in the comic get expanded on, or different characters due to copyright reasons. I think that was the case with Sweet Mask's fight against that diva villain. Let's see. Let's see. So like that, because apparently, and for Flashy Flash, I think he originally fought two robots, but I believe in the manga they ended up being two ninjas that became monsters, who later also appear in the webcomic. Funny enough. So there's stuff like that, and I think Phoenix Man's fight, he ended up becoming a much more powerful monster.
Yeah.
We get more, and I think, and of course, like I said, there was King Orochi, who ends up fighting Saitama, and is one of the few monsters to straight away acknowledge how much of a threat Saitama is. Who, funny enough, still gets one-shotted, but manages to survive, and I think merges with Psycho,
And Saitama even lampshades it though too. Remember he meets Orochi and he's like, let me guess, you're gonna sit here and brag about how powerful you are, but then you're just gonna be nothing to me. And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I do think King Orochi wasn't as arrogant as the usual ones, but either way, he did at least acknowledge Saitama's strength. But
yeah,
which is new. Granted, Orochi somehow survives and merges with Psychotes, and I think that's where the manga is currently.
Yeah, we're with Tatsumaki fighting.
Yeah. So at this point, let's see. The few things that left need to be covered is when Golden Sperm becomes like near invincible creature, then Garo becomes sort of monstertized in a sense. Takes on the S-Cast heroes and then Saitama, and then afterwards it'll be in the next saga. Though I think due to the monthly schedule that One Punch Man seems to be going with the manga, it seems like they're expanding stuff and giving more time for the webcomic to do some more stuff.
Yeah. And you also had Yusuke Murata, who wrote like 70 pages and then looks at the 70 pages and goes, yeah, I don't like the way I did it, so I redid it all.
Yeah. It seems One Punch. It's a bit strange because it seems like most mangas have to keep to their weekly and monthly schedule, but One Punch Man seems to allow to do whatever schedule it wants.
Yeah, and Yusuke Murata's like, yeah, like I really enjoy doing this series so much that I just want to draw it. I just want to keep going. It's so weird how One Punch Man is because everyone loves the series so much. Even non-anime fans love this series so much. You had Bill Burr talking about it, and he's just a comedian. He was like, I saw this anime series, I loved it.
The only person I know that has not been impressed by One Punch Man is my younger brother, but he does like Mob Psycho. But hey,
well then we're gonna go have to break his legs now, don't we?
I can't have you breaking my brother's legs. My mother would kill me. But hey,
I will break her legs.
Hey, that's my mother. But anyway, I know I have to ask him what his thoughts on One Punch Man the next time I see him. But yeah. But anyway.
Ask him what his thoughts on One Punch Man, then ask him what his favorite anime series is. If he says Naruto...
Oh, no, he doesn't. He's not a Naruto fan, really.
Oh, thank God.
Let's see, granted, he does make fun of me for liking Sakura too much, but hey. But I think, I think his favorite, anime, from what I can tell, is JoJo.
Okay. But, well, at least he has reputable one.
I don't know, but I haven't really talked to him much. But I think he also liked Finland Saga, but I think it's called. But anyway, back to One Punch Man. Another thing that but the one thing the manga also has been doing is that it has these sort of one-shot chapters now and then, which don't follow the main story, but they seem to happen in between stories. For example, Saitama meeting the policeman. Let's see. let's see, Fukubi trying to recruit Saitama into his group. Chapters like that.
Yeah.
Fun one shot.
And they're heartfelt too.
In many ways,
like the Saitama with the police one, like there's a monster that they capture him, and there's a monster at the police station, and Saitama dresses up as a police officer and deals with the monster, and then because everyone was losing faith in the law enforcement.
And Saitama dresses up one and restores their reputation.
Yeah.
Also, it's also that chapter's also the first time when you meet this McCoy fellow who's part of the Neo Heroes now. Who was with the Hero Association.
They even have an episode with a suicide jumper. Or an offshoot.
Yeah, in many ways, makes me kind of wish that other mangas got the publication rights that One Punch Man did, and let's see, the one-shot chapter treatments as One Punch Man did. So it's like, hey Naruto, you're too busy. Let's see, you're going some publication issues. Why don't you take a break and work your stuff out so you can plan this better? Hey, not focusing on these side characters. How about giving them a few one-shot chapters? Stuff like that. I wish that.
Hey, Kishimoto, before you went into the war arc, maybe you could have expanded on a few things.
Yes, like all that stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, we are where we are. So we are for Naruto. But hey, One Punch Man, in many ways, seems to have a lot more freedom than a lot more manga to do all these one shots and these publications. Granted, I don't know when the next chapter is coming out for One Punch Man, but it's one of the reasons why sometimes I'm a bit behind the series because, like, let's see, I don't know when it's coming out next, and I forget about it, and then it's like a few chapters have come out.
Yeah, but you also don't know because it's just like you see him. I was like, I just had a whole bunch of inspiration, so I wrote down 150 pages. That's like 5 chapters. You wrote like 5 fucking chapters, man. Come on.
I don't know if One Punch Man started out as a weekly and then became a monthly and then became whatever it was, but either way, it's publication.
Well, even in real life, it's breaking trends. It's deconstructing it. Oh, you remember all your show that used to come out once a week? Nah, we're going to come out whenever we want to. Sometimes we're going to release 5 chapters in 1 week. Sometimes we won't. You won't hear from us until a month. Either way, you're getting something.
But yeah, it's like, how do you do it? It's like, there's just no other series like One Punch Man.
No, there isn't.
Yeah. Then again, it's got 2 versions to it: the webcomic version and the manga version.
Yeah.
And let's see, but yeah. Anyway,
but it's just amazing that you can read one and read the other and nothing is lost.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like, if you read the manga, you're like, yeah, this is One Punch Man. You read the webcomic and yeah, this is.
Mostly due to the fact that you have the creator working on both series.
Yeah. At least talking to each other. Unlike some people.
Okay, I know who you're referring to in that one. But yeah. It's like...
Hey, Toriyama, what do you want me to do with this scene? Let's just make Goku really strong. Well, how strong? I don't know. Just strong enough.
I think also at the same time, at some point, he was also doing Mob Psycho at the same time.
I know that. Yeah, it's a side project.
Yeah. It's like... you see...
And some people are like, Mob Psycho is like superior to One Punch Man. I don't care.
I think my brother is one of those people, but either way.
Mob Psycho is superior to One Punch Man. Why? Because Mob Psycho is flawed. Well, that's exactly why you don't get One Punch Man.
But either way.
If you have to if you try to apply any of the tropes or anything that you typically think of when it comes to shonen manga or anything like that to One Punch Man, you're completely missing the point of One Punch Man. If you say, I got a character that can completely destroy One Punch Man in one sneeze, let alone one punch, you're missing the point of One Punch Man. If you try to say that Goku is stronger than Saitama because Saitama doesn't have that many feats, you're missing the point of One Punch Man.
He's supposed to beat nearly every opponent in one punch.
And okay, for all you Marvel fans out there, you remember Squirrel Girl? You remember how flat she seems, and yet somehow she could defeat all these strong opponents off panel? That's basically what Saitama is. He turns characters like Goku into the straight man.
Granted, I'm pretty certain that you shouldn't really take Squirrel Girl too seriously, but hey, perhaps Marvel fans do. But hey, I never know.
She's still part of the canon universe, though.
Either way, but yeah, again.
Can you take her too seriously? No, but then you're not supposed to.
But yeah, but I guess this is what happens when you put all your heroes into one universe, but hey. And then again, I suppose it stops you getting a Crisis on Infinite Earths with DC every 20 years.
Yeah.
Every 5 years or so, but yeah. And then you just ruin the continuity, but hey.
But I just hate when people make these kind of stupid arguments like that. Well, Saitama is not so interesting because he doesn't struggle or anything like that. You're missing the point of it.
Anyway, I think it's time that we move on to the anime. So, as we talked about earlier, let's see.
And here's where the controversy starts.
Let's see. Season 1 was directed by Madhouse, particularly Shingo Natsume, which I believe you said. Yep. And let's see, those 12 episodes were some of the best animation you could ever see in any anime series.
Yep.
Let's see. Take that, Studio Period.
Well, Period could do the exact same thing. They just only do it for Hinata. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
It's true. Let's see. But seriously, it
Bring
is
up
true.
the poor memories of Pain arc, where all of a sudden I could see Hinata's nose hairs, but then fucking Looney Tunes, the next Pain fight episode.
You ruined the best part of the Pain fight. Studio. You had one job. Funny enough, they actually end up portraying that fight a lot more accurately in a filler arc.
Yeah. And with better animation too in the filler arc.
But yeah, it's the.
And side note of that, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go off topic here for a second. It's not so much what Studio Period did; it's the fact that people defend that shit. Oh, well, it was purposely done like that because they were supposed to be cartoony. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Take a look at the manga chapters and tell me then it's supposed to be cartoony.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, like the time that one character was ripping hearts out and everything and doing child experimentation. Oh yeah, that was supposed to be cartoony. He was supposed to give kids lollipops and start ripping out like joys of happiness from kids' heads. Oh god.
Oh well, but
this is why One Punch Man saved my life.
Fair enough, but yeah. Of course, let's see. Due to the fact that the publication of One Punch Man is kind of all over the place, sometimes monthly, it takes a very long time for enough manga chapters to do another season. It's kind of the same problem Attack on Titan did.
Yeah.
Granted, I will admit, for the first season of One Punch Man, they did add a few extra filler scenes, which expanded on One Punch Man lore a bit. For example, you had Sweet Mask interacting with Genos.
Yeah.
Let's see, you had also Genos you also had the Hero Station learn that Genos destroyed the building of the House of Evolution. Stuff like that. And you even had some characters appearing much sooner than they did, like Fukabi and the Blizzard Group for Chapter 6. Stuff like that. But yeah.
But we all know the biggest controversy with the anime.
What's that?
Was that instead of Madhouse doing season 2, they had JC Staff do it.
I believe the guys did Food Wars when it finally came out in 2018. And it was very clear that the animation wasn't as fluid as the Madhouse animation, which, not to say that Season 2 was bad with its animation. I think compared to many other animes, particularly the weekly ones, it's pretty decent, but it didn't seem as fast as Season 1 could be.
Okay, it wasn't. But it's not like this was Season 2 was written in crayon. It's not like they used a Crayola pack to draw it. It was still pretty good. It's JC Staff, not Studio Period.
Or
Piero or Period, whatever how you want to pronounce it.
or Toei Animation.
Oh God! Oh, why'd you bring that one up? Oh, that was not cool, man.
I've touched a nerve there.
Oh, Margarita, you hearing this shit? I hope he listens to this. You got this recording, right? I hope he listens to this.
Well, we're live right now, and so yeah.
Right, but you're gonna record this and post it, right? I hope he's hearing this. Hey, you hear that, Margarita? Toei sucks at animating Dragon Ball Z.
Well, I was kind of
Blue Star confirms it.
Oh boy. Well, I was kind of referring to their animes in general, but
Yeah, shots fired.
Well, granted, I will admit, One Piece animation's actually been pretty well done these days. I think they got the guys who did the Broly movie for it, but yeah. But anyway, we are being recorded, and once I stop the live broadcast, I'll just load up the video as usual. I'll send you the link.
Because we also remember Piara does Bleach too.
Well, actually, from my understanding, Bleach animation for most part was pretty well done. Mostly because, Lucky Chi tells me, they got the guy from Yu Yu Hakusho doing the Bleach anime.
Yeah, basically. This is why it looks so good.
Yeah.
Thank God they didn't get the person that did Legend of Korra. Oh, did I say that one out loud?
Yes, you did. Note to self, I will never be able to have a working relationship with Studio Period or Toei Animation. And then again,
I don't want one.
Yeah, well, true. Fair enough. Me neither. But yeah. But either way.
If I create a story and Studio Piara is doing the animation for it, I will rip that contract up right in front of their faces and wipe my butt with it. It'll still be more entertaining than what Studio Piara could come up with.
Funny enough, I believe the Bleach animated director is currently doing the Boruto, so it's why some of the episodes have some very good fight scenes now and then.
Yeah. But JC's staff is not that bad. I'm sorry. You people that were over oh my god, season 2 is so bad. It isn't. It really isn't.
The only thing I'd say that was kind of really disappointing for me was the season 2 opening. But then again, it's very hard to top that first opening of one.
Yeah.
But it's I think it grows on you, the second opening, the more you listen to it. But at the same time, I don't know, I guess you were kind of hoping for something similar to the first opening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to when you have Silk, it's hard to go to Cotton. It really is. Not that Cotton is bad, but once you had Silk, Cotton just won't do. So once you have that ding ding ding, it's you can't beat that.
I mean, granted, the only time when I think a second season opening had defeated the first one was Mob Psycho season 2. That's one of the few times when a season being animated like that has beaten the first opening. Again, I think they got the same people doing it for season 1 and season 2 for Mob Psycho.
Could have been worse.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if, because from my understanding, Madhouse were focusing on Overlord season 2 and season 3 at the time.
Yeah. Which a lot of people had a problem with that, with their CGI and stuff with them too. So, but here's the thing that they did an interview with
Shingo Natsume, I assume.
Yeah, they had an interview with him, and they asked him why he didn't do season 2, and they go, because they never asked me to do it. It wasn't because they were busy. It wasn't because they were doing something else. It had nothing to do with anything other than they just didn't ask them.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me question why didn't they ask him to do season 2? And then they asked him if he may do season 3, and he goes, yeah. If they haven't watched One Punch Man season 3 and they ask me to do it, I'll do it in a heartbeat. But they have to ask me first. Yeah.
Now, granted, which I don't know what the details are on season 3 yet. I'm not sure if it's coming out. And I'm not sure how many volumes it's going to adapt. Usually, they try to adapt around 7 to 8 volumes. And they 12 episodes, which, fine enough, I believe there's about that many volumes yet. But I think they're currently in the middle of, let's see, the monster hideout raid arc. So I'm not sure if they're waiting until Saitama faces Garo, and let's see, so they can animate that, or so
I would bet they're going for that.
Or they're going to do halfway from that season, because, like, at the moment, due to the pacing of the manga volumes, many of the fights are much bigger than they are now, so it's like that.
Yeah. just go to Yusuke and Murata. Hey, Yusuke, what? We need, like, all these manga chapters of One Punch Man so we can do it season 3. I'm on it, fam. And then he'll just go and... He'll do it. He'll do it.
Now, yeah. But yeah, at the moment, let's see. You got like 24 episodes of One Punch Man and about 12 OVAs of sorts, I believe. At least 12 or more. I think one of them ended up being like the origin of Saitama's suit, where he had like this regular... He used to be a regular customer for somewhere.
Yeah, Road to Hero.
Yeah. So you got stuff like that.
But which really sucks because that one wasn't on the first season, even though it came out during that time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's on season 2 thing or you have to try and find it elsewhere. I'm not sure
that must because that episode came for free when you bought a magazine or a volume, I think.
Uh-huh.
And it came with it. It was like in the back of it, because sometimes Japan will do that. They're like, "Oh, we have an episode of this, and it's in the back. If you pre-order or if you get this magazine, you can get it. You can get special editions of this. You can get it in the back of the thing."
Yeah.
So they'll buy it and then they'll have it. And then I was like, "Well, why didn't you put it in the Blu-ray?" And they're like, "Well."
This is why at some point you get people trying to find online streaming sites and YouTube videos of trying to find it. For example, I still try to watch that OVA of that special Naruto versus Sasuke sometimes now and then, just because I kind of wish the fight went more like that. But hey, here we go.
Don't we all?
Especially the ending part where Sakura cries when Naruto's alive.
Yeah.
But hey. But yeah.
The shipping wars in One Punch Man are pretty tame. But the biggest thing I've seen is like Saitama and Tatsumaki versus Saitama versus Fubuki.
Well, then again, I'm not sure people really want to get too deep into that one, since Tatsumaki is technically sort of a lolly-esque character, and I think one of the problems I will say with anime manga is you sometimes get characters who don't look their age. Which is a problem. I mean, granted, Tornado Terror, as far as I can tell, isn't one of the most problematic ones, but at the same time, people don't want to be accused of but at the moment, I think it's also because One Punch Man hasn't really focused on the romance thing, because unlike manga series like Naruto, Bleach,
leave it to the fans. Just leave it for the fans.
Yeah. But yeah, of course, no one reads One Punch Man for romance, but yeah.
Yeah. It's not a romance manga. Really? Then why do you care so much? Anyway, but still, I mean, you know what? Have your OTPs if you want to, but don't think like what you believe is what's facts. That's all I'm trying to say on this one. Because I've had people like, "Oh, Genos and Saitama would be a great couple," but Saitama isn't gay, and he's already confirmed this.
Yeah, and it doesn't work with the narrative that's been set up.
Yeah. Now, some people are like, "Oh, Saitama Tatsumaki," and I'm like, well, Saitama keeps thinking Tatsumaki is a child, so...
Yeah, it's not going to hook up with her. The closest you got is the only female character that so far had the most interactions with him is Fukuki, but I don't think... But the only recruitment she wants to do is to get him to join his group. Her group. Sorry. So, at the moment, there's no... highly unlikely any chance of a romance, so...
Probably not, and I hope they don't. Just let the fans believe what they want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, don't believe in stuff even when the story itself says you're wrong.
And again, of course, they don't have any studio teasing the romances, so yeah, there's that. But hey. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, let's see. At the moment, still don't know season 3. So, and there's no news of any live action or animated movies of One Punch Man. So, well, granted, it would be interesting if they actually managed to pull off a movie of One Punch Man, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Although I did hear rumors that Yusuke Murata would like to do one.
I've heard that there are talks with American studios wanting to do a One Punch Man movie as well, but those I think were just rumors. But yeah,
The live action one, but
of course the only.
But I mean like an actual like anime movie, like what Goblin Slayer or One Piece did, and that series we don't like to talk about did.
Yeah, let's see. Fair enough. I believe Bleach did. So far for me, the only two live action movies I've seen for anime and manga is like, let's see, that one that came out last year, Kira, was it? Let's see. Oh, actually, I've seen three. Ghost in the Shell by Scarlett Johansson. That one that was produced by James Cameron, Alita Battle Angel, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I recently saw the live action for the Bleach one, which, let's see, the Japanese one, from what I understand, the Bleach live action is actually one of their best. But, yeah.
So is the Rurouni Kenshin one, too.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, because I hear that many of Japan's live-action movies are a mixed bag, but let's see. But
the Bleach one and the Rurouni Kenshin one I hear are really good.
I mean, I think the special effects for the hollows for that one is really good, but maybe that's something I should talk about if I ever decide to do a live stream of the Bleach live-action movie. But anyway, back to One Punch Man. At the moment, there's no other mediums for One Punch Man except for like that PS4 game that came out recently. And which I
also on Xbox.
Yeah, also on Xbox, but I think for Japan it's the PS4 because, well, PS4 dominates. PlayStation dominates, but Saitama.
PC forever.
Well, you're a PC man, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, the game which
PC superior race.
To create your own character, but at the same time you have Saitama in the game, and usually it's a time limit of before he arrives, and then he does his one punch thing.
Yeah, what's the game called? Hero Nobody Knows?
Yeah, I think so. But either way, it's a clever way of doing the game. It's a clever way of sorting out the whole Saitama issue.
Yeah, and actually, interesting note that they actually thought about putting Saitama in Jump Force too.
Yeah, now granted, given the reputation of that game, perhaps they dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. But they also said that the reason why they didn't put Saitama is one, because he's not technically a shonen, even though he is owned by Weekly Shonen Jump. And two, he would just one punch everybody, so like, there's no point.
Unless you can find a way to nerf him, which they clearly cannot. But yeah.
It is funny how they like have Saitama versus Saitama in the One Punch Man game, and when Saitama beats the other Saitama doesn't lose or get knocked out. He just goes, "Oh, I forgot there's a sale going on," and then walks off.
Oh yeah. So granted,
that's clever.
Granted, from my understanding, in that game, you play as your own character, you go through the story mode, and then you fight Saitama in the end. But I'm curious, when Boris is in the game, does Saitama beat him in one hit, or does he take a few shots to defeat him?
Who?
You know
Burrito?
The villain from the end of season 1.
Boros?
Is he in the game? I assume he should be.
I don't know. I haven't played the entire game. I've only seen clips.
Let's see. I've been meaning to buy it, but I've forgotten about it. But hey.
I haven't forgotten about it. I just don't have money. I'm poor. But if you all want to send me money so I can play the game, please send it to.
I don't have any Patreons or anything like that, so.
I do. I gotta GoFundMe.
Fair enough, but anyway, we talked about the anime enough. So anyway, I suppose, and it's the next two sections I want to talk is like the impact One Punch Man has had on the manga and anime industry. But I think we've talked a bit about that.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air. Let me put it that way. In a sea of mediocrity, it's a breath of fresh air.
In many ways, I think for many people, it brought more like faith back into Shonen Jump. And I think some people, they sold off all their Naruto volumes, though I kept mine. In fact, I've ended up trading them up for box sets, but that's just me. But hey. Because I was like, I read the series up to a certain point, and then look at the fan. So it's like, yeah, and have that as my cat. And sometimes imagine some stuff that happens in the manga that didn't, such as the swordsman battle, like the game version and the manga version. But hey, that's for another discussion. So yeah, so I ended up buying mangas again. Besides,
The only thing I bought was a Berserk omnibus, but I have all the American release novels of volumes of One Punch Man Rex so far.
At the moment, I've got up to 20, which, let's see, since volume 19, they seem to be doing a collage of Saitama's punching, but hey.
Yeah.
In a similar manner to how Dragon Ball used to have all these volume covers of, like, people walking and all that stuff, but yeah.
They ran out of pictures, so let's just do Saitama. Let's just do a collage.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh well, but hey. Anyway, so let's see. We've gone up to, since we talked about the impact of One Punch Man. The final thing we need to get to, I think. What do you expect series for Futuron? Because at the moment we're currently in the webcomic with the Neo Heroes saga.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it's going to go down between the Hero Association and the Neo Heroes? Because clearly they're going to fight each other at some point.
I think it's going to be similar to what Saitama did with Garo, which is they become really powerful, and you think they're unstoppable, and then Saitama comes along and kind of beats some sense into them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Saitama is going to go be like, what makes you different from the Hero Association? Oh, because we do things different. Is it really that different? I mean, all it takes is one little more moment for you to be just like them. And which is true. I mean, you could start out with the best intentions, but then like you get a taste of something, and then all of a sudden it's all about that. Which I think is the Hero Association. The problem with the Hero Association was that, okay, now you're recruiting heroes from the same association that you despise, and those same heroes are no different than when they left it. So, you know, if you're just keep bragging about how powerful you are because you're trying to like be the best or move up in ranks, then you're no different.
Which does make me wonder at some point whether or not, because I do think Saitama is eventually going to get S-Class, but I do wonder if at some point they're going to abolish the current hero ranking system. But at the moment, Saitama is too busy focusing on changing my name, damn it!
Yeah, a Hero Association, more like Saitama and his bitches.
Now, to be fair, a class system isn't not necessarily a bad thing, but the way they've done it has, in many ways, you got like.
Well, I think they need to get rid of like the secondary ranking system. Okay, you're a class S hero. It shouldn't be like, okay, rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. No, you don't need that like secondary, because then you bring a competition. Okay, you're a class S hero. What's a class S hero? They're really powerful. They're called on when a threat is too big for the other ones, and they handle the toughest of jobs, kind of thing.
Yeah, not to mention with the C class, I think we'd see the whole system of you have to keep doing hero work, otherwise you're kicked out.
Yeah.
Let's see, luckily for Moomin Rider, he does so many hero activities and stuff that he stays in. But for like others, you can see them getting greedy and stuff, and you see all these alliances that don't really benefit anyone. Now, not saying that heroes shouldn't team up, because heroes should team up to fight the greater evils. That's why you got. Go on.
No, well, but I mean, yeah, but like you have these heroes that are like, oh well, I'm only gonna fight if it's a challenge to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, I understand that, but being a real hero means fighting challenges that are nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not about like getting the biggest thrill out of it. It's about doing the right thing.
I mean, yes, Saitama was looking for that thrill of a fight again, but that doesn't stop him from doing hero work.
Yeah, that doesn't stop him from taking on the smaller jobs, which he does. You see him do. It just he just so happens to be late to the party every single time, and he even lampshades this, like, man, I'm always late. There's even a point in the story where that gets to him. He goes like, "Am I even really a hero when all I ever do is show up after the fact?" You know?
So yeah. Clearly there's going to be the conflict. Granted, there's still a few other things that have yet to be tackled in the manga, the tackled in the webcomic that have been built up, such as this organization with all these cyborg robots and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I have a funny feeling that that the cyborg that attacked Genos's village is the body that he's in.
Fair enough. That will be an interesting concept.
Like, could you imagine, like, I'm looking for the cyborg that destroyed my village. I am the cyborg that destroyed my village. You just had the brain from one planet into the other.
Mm-hmm. Now, granted, of course, let's see. When we find that cyborg, that's probably going to be more closer to the end game of One Punch Man, because that's mostly Genesis' character drive for that.
Yeah, and when Metal Knight said, like, or was it Metal Knight? Or the other one?
Knight said that Metal Knight is your enemy.
Yeah. Like, what does that mean?
At the moment, let's see, Drive Knight in the manga is expanding upon what he thinks Metal Knight wants to do with his robot army and stuff. Though, granted, I do think Metal Knight's going to get into conflict with Saitama soon because he knows Saitama's strength, and due to Saitama causing the destruction of some of his robots and even damage the A City, it's caused the Hero Association to lose a bit of trust in him and not to rely on him as much. So, eventually, he's going to get into conflict with Saitama. Now, granted,
yeah.
whether or not that's going to happen in the Nero Hero Saga or maybe afterwards, I don't know.
It's possible.
It's clearly at the moment you got to sort out the whole thing with Sweet Mask. Though I think let's see whether or not Sweet Mask will still be able to be a hero afterwards. Where the public seems to completely despise him now because of his appearance. I can't tell if that's his real form or if that's his new monster-like form. But either way.
I believe that Sweet Mask may get a transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's going to get like a transformation, and then he's going to be more humble about who he is.
Mm-hmm.
From now on, I believe, at least.
Yeah. Let's see. Now, let's see what else is there. Now, Garo, I expect to make a return because he's still alive, though what he will be, it remains to be seen.
I can see him doing a self-sacrifice eventually in the future.
Mm-hmm. Or at least Saitama making fun of self-sacrifices. But yeah.
Sort of like what Genos does. I have no choice. I have to blow myself up to defeat this enemy. I'm sorry, Dr. Katsunagi. And it's like how bugs. They suck.
Yeah. And now let's see, the only other thing I can think of that remains, let's see at the moment. Well, besides that 6 months prophecy, I think we're like 3 or 4 months in, so there's still a few months left.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, which might end, whether or not this is the actual final thing, or it just the prophecy thing ends up just being BS, like it seems to be implied.
Yeah, and I wonder if Blast is going to make an appearance in that end of the month.
I mean, the manga's expanded more about him possibly being more retired, and apparently that Elder Centipede survived an encounter with him.
Yeah, but they also said that Blast would only make an appearance if the Earth was truly in danger.
In other words, a god level threat or something.
Yeah, which I don't know which we don't know what that means.
Not yet really encountered a god level threat now. Boros.
We fought Boros of Garo. How is that not a planet level threat? Well, it's not.
Apparently, according to one, he's between dragon and god, so. But yeah. Now, clearly, let's see. The biggest mystery is Blast like Saitama? I think I wonder. Has there been any speculation that there might be some relation to Saitama and Blast, or is it just? But then again, that might have been killed off when it's revealed that Blast has a son called Blue, who now leads the Neo Heroes. So who knows where that's going?
Yeah, I mean, it's not unheard of to have an illegitimate son,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know Saitama's parents.
Let's see, or whether or not one wants to delve into that subject yet, but who knows? We'll find out in the future. But at the moment,
It's possible.
At the moment, I think at the moment, of course, at the moment, like I said, Neo Heroes are coming first. Now, how long this Neo Hero saga will last remains to be seen. Though I assume at the moment they're just battling S-class monsters.
I mean, could you imagine if they come up with the idea that he could be related to Blast, and then like Saitama's like, it doesn't matter either way. I am me for who I am. It doesn't really matter, and they just leave it at that.
Yeah. In many ways, it could be a critique of how nearly every shonen protagonist has some all-powerful father or mother or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah. My genetics don't define me, my actions do.
That's it, though.
Something like Naruto should have did, but no.
Let's see, I'll get to Naruto a bit. Yeah, let's see the Ashura backstory, but that'll be more off-screen talk after this, but yeah. So, yeah. So I think we've ended up talking everything we can of One Punch Man at this point.
Pretty much. What else is there to say? It's a great series. If you haven't seen it, I suggest picking it up. It's safe. I mean, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it's a safe series because that makes it sound worse. It's a series that I think anybody could get into rather easily.
Now, you can either watch it through Netflix, you can buy it on the DVDs or Blu-rays, or you can even buy the volumes, or even go online and find the webcomic. Because I believe the webcomic is free.
Or you could be a true otaku like us and get all three.
Yeah. But yeah, no, granted, I don't think the webcomic is being published as actual manga volumes, but
no, but there is a site that has them translated.
So, yeah, if you want to learn different versions of the stories, how it's told, let's see, expanding on the lore, it's for the most part it's all done by one, though. One has some involvement. I'm not sure how much involvement he has in the anime studio side.
Probably not that much. It's more Yusuke Murata doing it.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm pretty certain if Kishimoto ever, because if like authors like Kishimoto actually got involved with the Naruto anime, you'd probably have a lot less original Hinata fanboyism there. But hey, there'd be a lot more Sasuke. But hey, that's it. But yeah, that's a bad Naruto joke there. Sorry. So anyway. We've talked about everything here. Let's see. Thank you again James, thank you for joining me for discussing why One Punch Man is great. Hopefully, whoever stumbles upon the stream will be able to understand why. And you see, you've probably helped them.
No problem. I'm here to educate.
I hope you'll join me again for a stream in the future, because I do plan on doing a few more Naruto streams, particularly.
We'll see. If my schedule will allow it, I'll try to join as much as I can.
I'm trying to wait for Chat to be a bit ready to come back, because I think she's had some personal reasons to go. Let's see if she can do some Naruto ones.
Yeah, I got computer issues.
Because next Naruto one I want to do, let's see, is the Rescue Kazekage arc, which I'm definitely going to have Chat there for, because it's a very Sakura focused arc.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see, I'll probably try and get you for one of the arcs that heavily focus on Sasuke, just because your Sasuke rants are funny. Let's see.
I swear Margarita does it on purpose.
Let's see, but yeah. But for the, let's see, as for any Boruto ones, I'm not really doing them anything unless something interests me in Boruto that's happened that I just have to talk about, they actually do something with Sakura, or we actually find out if Naruto did actually die, or something like that. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Let's see, but yeah, because I did invite you for the Jiraiya identity one, but unfortunately you couldn't make it. But hey,
yeah, fucking Jiraiya clone.
That's for other manga, other streams things. So let's see. I'm not sure what I have in mind with Siege. You'll be interested though. Perhaps once the Garo fight actually gets adapted manga wise, or even season 3 of One Punch Man, we can talk about that.
Yeah, I'm really interested in how Yusuke Murata handles it.
Yeah.
He has not disappointed yet, but
is it going to be an exact copy, or is he going to expand on a few things? But yeah.
Is he going to draw it, then redraw it because he doesn't like the way he did it the first time, like he did with Child Emperor?
Now, one of the few things that I heard with like the Saitama, the Saitama Gaara fight in the webcomic, is that there's actually a little flash animation when it came to one particular fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
If you read the webcomic on certain sites, I'm not that you can't really do that with like the volume of One Punch Man, but they might try and do some special effect if you try to read it online. But we'll see.
Yeah, there was that one thing where they had like the panel. If you put the panels back to back in like a GIF, like it actually does move.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. But at the moment,
I'm interested to see if they do a season 3 and bring the old people back.
Yeah, that is the biggest question I think many people are wondering for season 3. But yeah, though perhaps no. Of course, I wouldn't mind if the guys who did season 2 did it. Though I do wonder if they could be given more time to animate it as well.
Yeah, and a bigger budget.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think like they need to bring the director back again, and they need him to do season 3 again. Especially if they're gonna have the Gaara fight in it, you have to bring that guy in for the Gaara fight.
I mean, this is pretty much regarded as the best fight in the series.
Yeah,
because it's the longest you get to see Saitama fighting for one. But
and then you get to see his new named ability that he has. Do you remember what it was?
Super serious.
Killer move, serious table flip.
Oh yeah, that was the one.
He just grabs the land and just flips it all the way up to the point that guy was like, "Am I up? Am I down? Am I falling? Am I rising up? I don't know."
It's not a podcast without James, without him mentioning someone get me a table to flip.
Someone get me a table to flip, and now I could do the killer move. Serious table flip.
Oh god, but yeah. But anyway, I think that's.
By the way, I want to bring this up the last one. These killer move series, and Yusuke Murata made a chapter about that. Turns out that this is just Saitama being himself. He just named his abilities that. It's not like him putting in effort, like, because he had the panel where like, oh look, all these heroes have these killer names for their abilities. I wonder if I should make a killer move.
It's like you have all these different name techniques, even though they're the same ones.
Yeah.
Recurring problem with Naruto and the Rasengan's, but hey. But yeah.
Kakashi and the 1,000 techniques only uses 3. Anyway, I'll see you later. So I think we should end it here.
Yeah.
Because
thank you for joining.
Yeah, no problem. Always fun.
And anyone who watches this, I hope you've enjoyed it. You might have to watch it piece by piece, but yeah, because we're 2 hours and a half, nearly 2 hours and a half long at this point. But thanks again. Let's see. This is Blue Star Saber signing off.
And this is James S Cassidy joining him.
And we're done.